Hey guys, welcome to another video. Today we're talking about the Steam Deck again, actually. Now, after some time has passed, there is more information that is eking out about the Steam Deck, slowly but surely. To be honest, the only main event that's really happened is that dev kits have been released to their respective companies, and so hopefully we're going to get some optimization for a lot of games when it comes to the Steam Deck. But there is a little bit of information that you can derive from a lot of other things. So the wonderful thing about the Steam Deck is that it's running on Arch Linux, or at least a version of it. Obviously, DeckOS isn't exactly the same as Arch Linux, but it is based on it, and so there's going to be a ton of similarities. As a result, if you want to truly understand how Steam Deck performance will probably go, I recommend that you download a version of Manjaro Linux and try to run games on it using Proton. That's going to be your best bet at getting a similar to the Steam Deck experience when it comes to gaming. And after you do that, you can obviously come back to this video. Anyway, if you've actually done that, you would realize that Steam is making some progress. Proton is pretty darn useful, but to be honest, I like to use custom versions of Proton, and hopefully the Steam Deck will feature those. I know that there's a lot of different ways that you can run games in Linux, but namely Proton Glorious Egg Roll, which is a project made by this random guy. I don't really remember what his name is. I'll probably show a picture of his name and all the other information right here, so I'm not too worried about it. Anyway, this guy is essentially making a custom version of Proton, and that's what's so beautiful about the Steam Deck, is hopefully we're going to get this similar performance level and the ability to swap out different parts of our system like we can with normal Linux distributions in order to eke out more performance. There have been some photos of dev units of the Steam Deck sitting around people's offices and stuff, but yeah, those are mostly for developing games on and getting the stuff ready. I wouldn't necessarily put all my weight in the dev versions, mostly because Valve can make some last-minute hardware, changes, and then the actual device could be a little bit different. I'm not saying there's going to be any massive changes on the actual physical layout of the device. However, there may be changes as to what parts are put in the device. For example, they may put a different analog trigger in it, or a different button on it for the X button. So it could be something like that, but mainly the device is pretty set in stone as of right now. Now, what exactly are these developers going to do, you may be asking? Because as of right now, Linux can play a ton of Windows games already, and not to the greatest extent, but generally most games work. So again, why are these people getting dev kits if they don't really need to develop for a special operating system? Well, here's my theory. Because of these dev kits, the actual users of the Steam Deck will be able to get configuration files from developers themselves. For example, when you play, any Bethesda game on an actual Xbox or PS4, the performance tends to be a lot better, mostly because the Xbox and PS4 were both manually configured to run that game at its maximum potential, and that's how a lot of consoles are. What I think is happening right now in the industry is that a lot of these developers are actually doing what would happen on consoles, where essentially they're trying to make these games run better on the Steam Deck. Now, there's a lot of ways that the developers can do things like this, and to be honest, sometimes a lot of the inner workings of games are pretty hard to get at, so developers doing this for us is very, very nice of them, and it will make it so that the actual Steam Deck is more of a plug-and-play experience. Now, we probably won't be seeing, open support for downloading things like Proton GE, but we will see support for things like this, where a configuration file makes the game run as best it can on the Steam Deck. So hopefully we'll be getting native Windows performance, or better than Windows performance, with these configuration files, as well as with higher versions of Proton. As of right now, there's not a ton of other information out about the Steam Deck, mostly the same. I mean, the Steam Deck sold a pretty decent amount of units from what I can gather from this, there was a leaked post, I guess, apparently on the subject. Anyway, from what I could gather from this old post, the Steam Deck has sold over 110,000 units, which is actually in line with what the Valve Index and a few of Steam's other products have sold. So we're not getting any crazy numbers here. I'm actually surprised, mostly because the publicity for this item is a lot more than the actual purchasing of it. So hopefully in the future, the pre-orders won't be real numbers on how many units are actually sold. We'll probably see a lot of people just buying this item when they can instead of pre-ordering it. So that will hopefully be interesting. But as of right now, 110,000 units is pretty decent, and that was a while ago, so I can imagine that the Steam Deck has well surpassed that by now, considering the release date for this thing is pushed all the way back to probably Christmas, I'm assuming, Christmas of 2021. We will see exactly what this device is capable of, hopefully on that day, or at least we'll get some of our first viewings of this device's capabilities. I'm no doubt expecting a lot of tech channels to use this thing as advertisement on their channels, because it is a pretty good device to talk about when it comes to the tech industry right now. I mean, my last video got like 800 views already, so it definitely is a hot topic. But anyways, guys, that's gonna wrap it up for this video. It's a lot shorter because there's a lot less to really go on. I mean, I could go really deep into what pictures we have of the thing, but I'm not going to necessarily dig as far as I can. If really important information surfaces, you're going to see another video on this, or just another quick update video if nothing really comes of it. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please watch some of my other videos. If you like this type of content, then you obviously would like the previous Steam Deck video that I made. It doesn't have as great mic quality, but you will probably still enjoy it. Anyway, take care, guys, and goodbye.